Hello, this is Anna Kaplan, and I'm coming to you from Graycliff in Derby, New York on this rainy day on Lake Erie, and I'm creating this video for Steve at the Willey House in Minneapolis. And there are some interesting parallels between the Willey House, which was designed and built by Wright in the early 1930s, and Graycliff, and in particular, the use of cypress wood, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So you can see up here on the second floor of what we call the Isabel R. Martin house that there's a lot of cypress wood. We know from correspondence that the floors were discussed at length. And it was even suggested that rubber be used throughout the entire house. Imagine what it would have been like. A very different feeling. Instead, we have these gorgeous cypress wood planks, both up here and through a large portion of the first floor as well. And this decision was likely made after one of Wright's several visits to the site during construction. We know that there were about 7, and often these site visits spurred major decisions. Each plank is about 9 inches wide, and you can see that there are virtually no knots, which is common in cypress and makes it a very workable wood, which is why you see a lot of cypress furniture. And Wright did use cypress to also build the furniture for Graycliff, including these radiator covers that you see up here. So there are a handful of Wright design pieces for Graycliff. And cypress was also used on these molding elements. And this reminds me of the banding that exists at the Willey House. But our banding serves a very functional purpose in some ways. It has a lip, and that allowed for the Martins to hang pictures and mirrors and not have to blemish the stucco in any way, which the stucco continues on both the interior and the exterior. It also allowed for curtains. But as you can see, the banding continues throughout the perimeter of the room. It even continues over that overhang that you see on the fireplace. And it continues in this hallway, places that you would never hang anything. So in that way, Wright is using it to visually define the space and highlight his architecture, and his geometry, something that he was also doing at the Willey House. And it should be mentioned that cypress is not an indigenous material, like the Tichenor limestone and the sand from Lake Erie that he used in the stonework at Graycliff. This likely came from Mississippi. I hope that you consider visiting Graycliff at some point in the not so distant future. And until then, be well. Take care.